PayPal debanked us, or at least attempted to debank us for them, September 2022. Believe it or not, we still have not had any explanation as to why that is. So obviously, particularly in light of what has happened to Farage, we have submitted Freedom of Information Act requests saying, can we have a bit more information about why you debanked us? They have not been forthcoming, and actually our argument is, well, they are in the process of actually applying for a permanent licence in the UK. To get that licence, they have to show they are, meeting all UK legal and regulatory requirements, which include treating customers fairly, which include being transparent, etc., etc. So our argument is, well, if you're not prepared to meet your UK, legal regulatory requirements, then PayPal, you should be debanked. That's
unbelievable. So they've still not given you a proper subject access request response?
They've given us a response, but it contains not one word about the debanking.
No, that's not a response at all. That's just impossible.
It's impossible, quite. So it's
You see the information that Coots had on Nigel Farage, and you just think, well, they will have had something. The idea that there's nothing is just...
And actually, I should say that they gave us nothing. We went back and chased and said, are you sure? Still nothing. When the story broke in the Telegraph on Friday night, we did get at last an email saying, we're going to check again. So watch this space.
Watch this space. Well, I'm sure PayPal will want to have something about it. Very welcome to come on the show and talk about this, folks. But if you want a permanent licence, maybe you've got to apply by the rules. That's what I suggest. Thank you very much indeed. And, of course, your husband is a lawyer, so knows what he's talking about. Molly, we've just got, and I have got a note from PayPal who said that actually the company was not able to comment on individual accounts, but was not discriminatory and does not take decisions lightly on shutting down accounts, saying they've got more than 400 million customers. Really? Hang on, let's just... the company's acceptable use policy covers a broad range of actions including spreading misinformation about the COVID vaccine and hate speech.
So, dear PayPal, I hate that insinuation because it implies that we were guilty of spreading misinformation. If PayPal believes that us for them was spreading misinformation about the COVID vaccine, I want to see exactly what it was, because it's exactly this insinuation that has allowed companies like PayPal to cancel people like me, people like us for them, for arguing for children and for just essentially expressing inconvenient opinions.
And essentially, actually, that statement from PayPal proves that they have got information on us for them that they should be giving you with the subject access request, because they obviously went through a process and came to that, frankly, horrific, completely erroneous conclusion. And, of course, everything that you were talking about then has proven to be accurate information as opposed to what they thought was misinformation.
Well, it has. And, the other thing, of course, that's happened since the PayPal deplatforming was that we now know that not only other Us For Them people, other, prominent journalists, etc., who were very vocal in speaking out against government restrictions, we were all monitored by the government's own units. Now, having received a very long list back of articles and posts that I'd tweeted and that I'd written, what is obvious is that not a single one in this list, the list is about 3 pages long, not a single one of those was disinformation. They were all either things that proved to be true, or they were just simply matters of opinion. So
it was inconvenient to them, and that's what they tried to do. They tried to shut us down, but they will never shut us down. They certainly won't shut down Molly Kingsley from Us For Them. Thank you so much for being in the studio with me. That was absolutely